My dear brother, my precious sister in Christ, for a very long time, money has gone to some people and not to others. This isn't about luck, who you know, or your situation. There's a basic truth, a spiritual rule so strong that people who get it attract wealth. Those who don't keep struggling with money no matter how hard they try. You found this message now because you are ready to learn this old secret. Once you understand these ideas and they change how you think about money, you will see why you had money problems before, why you are about to have a breakthrough, and why you will have plenty of money in the future. You will see that money follows a spiritual rule, not a rule from a book. When you follow this rule, you will attract wealth in all its forms. Here is the big secret that changes everything. Money is not something you get. It is a flow you join. Most people think of money as something limited that you have to grab, save, and protect from others. They think in terms of not having enough, believing that if someone else gets more, they get less. They think there's only so much wealth to go around and you have to fight for it. This wrong way of thinking is what stops money from coming to them. When you think of money as rare, you make it rare in your life. When you act desperate for money, you push it away. Money is like water. It moves freely to open places and away from blocked ones. The world has plenty of everything, not a shortage. The same power that made countless stars also made sure there is plenty of everything for us. Money is just one form of this endless supply, and it comes to those who understand and accept this truth. Believe this and say with total certainty, money comes to me easily because I accept that there is plenty for everyone. The second key to understanding money is knowing that being wealthy is your right from birth, not something you get for suffering. The universe didn't make lots for some and little for others. It made lots for everyone, but only those who believe they deserve it will get it. Money stays away from people who think they have to suffer to get it, and it comes to those who know they deserve it because it's their right. The story of Solomon in the Bible shows this perfectly. When he could have anything he wanted, Solomon asked for wisdom, not money. But because he focused on what was spiritually important instead of things, he got both wisdom and more money than he could measure. First, look for God's kingdom, and all these other things will be given to you as well. Solomon knew that money comes to people who care more about their spirit than about getting things. By asking for wisdom first, he was able to receive wealth as a natural result, not something he had to struggle for. His wealth came from his mindset, not his situation. Let this idea sink in and say with strong faith, I claim my right to endless wealth and success. The third key shows why money seems to grow for some people and disappear for others. Money reacts to your feelings about it. If you are afraid of money, it will stay away. If you don't like rich people, you will push wealth away. If you think money is bad or makes people bad, you are putting up walls that stop it from coming to you. Money is like a neutral energy. It becomes what you think it is. When you see money as a tool for good, as something that can help people and make positive changes, it will come to you. This is because you have made yourself a safe place for it to be used for good things. When you look at money with doubt, fear, or judgment, it moves away from you because your feelings are unfriendly to it. The universe wants you to say something important right now. In the comments below, write these words: abundance is my natural state. This simple sentence does something powerful in your mind. Say this now and then keep listening, because what comes next will show you exactly how to become a magnet for money that nothing can stop. The fourth key explains the mystery of timing. It's why money comes to some people at just the right time, while others feel like they are always waiting. Money comes according to a perfect schedule, not when we impatiently want it. People who understand this get ready to receive wealth when the universe is ready to give it, instead of trying to force things to happen. This perfect timing is based on a wisdom that sees your whole life, your preparation, your purpose, and your ability to handle money well. A delay in getting money often means that the universe is helping you get ready. It uses these delays to make you better at receiving, managing, and growing your wealth when it finally comes. Trust this perfect timing and say with complete faith, perfect timing is arranging my financial success for my own good and for my biggest purpose. The fifth key shows how being thankful can attract wealth. Money comes to people who are grateful for what they already have and stays away from those who only think about what they don't have. Being grateful opens the door to receiving more, while complaining closes it. Most people think, when I have more money, then I will be thankful. This is backward thinking, and it pushes away the very thing they want. Money comes when you are thankful right now, not when you promise to be thankful later. When you truly appreciate what you have now, no matter how little it seems, you create the right energy to attract more. Develop this attractive habit and say with a thankful heart, I am deeply grateful for all the good things coming to me now and always. The sixth key shows you the power of letting money move. Money comes to people who keep it flowing and get stuck with people who try to keep it all for themselves. Wealth is like a river that needs to keep moving to stay fresh. When you block the flow because you are scared of losing it, you create a blockage that eventually stops more from coming. When you let money flow through you easily, you become a channel that pulls in more and more wealth. This idea is different from the usual advice about saving money. While being careful with money is important, the bigger truth is that money grows when it is used for a reason and shrinks when it just sits there out of fear. Accept this idea of flow and say with generous confidence, money flows through me easily, helping others and coming back to me in greater amounts. The seventh key shows how important it is to have a purpose to attract wealth. Money comes most to those who use it for reasons bigger than just making themselves rich. The universe gives money to people who will use it to create value, fix problems, and help others. When your money only serves you, the flow is small. When your wealth serves a higher purpose, the flow has no limits. This explains why some people who don't need much for themselves attract huge amounts of money. They become channels for wealth that helps more than just them. The universe trusts them with more money because it knows they will use it to do the most good for people. Connect with your most important purpose and say with a true heart, my wealth is for a higher purpose and it grows as it helps the world. The eighth key shows the powerful role of faith in getting financial wealth. Money comes to those who keep a strong belief that they will be provided for even when things look bad. Faith is not just wishing for something, it is a deep spiritual knowing that is stronger than what you see. When you truly know that wealth is your right, you will naturally attract situations that prove this belief. Most people believe in a lack of money. They strongly believe in limits, shortages, and money problems. This belief in limits creates the very problems they believe in. But when you build a belief in having more than enough, when you know for sure that you are meant to have endless wealth, the universe has to prove your belief by showing you evidence of it. A spiritual rule clearly say, according to your faith, it will be done for you. This is not just a religious idea, but a simple instruction on how spiritual law works. Your faith, your deepest beliefs about what is possible for you, decides what you experience. If you believe in abundance, you will experience abundance. If you believe in limits, you will experience limits. You must show this faith through your actions. True faith in having enough money makes you act like you already do. Even when it seems like there isn't enough, you invest in yourself. Follow your dreams and take action based on inspiration. You do this because you know that you will be provided for when you follow these divine rules. So, ground yourself in a strong faith and say with total certainty, my belief in endless abundance creates unlimited financial success in my life. As these 8 ideas become a part of how you think, you start seeing the world from a place of having enough instead of not having enough. You see money as a divine energy looking for good channels to flow through, not as something limited that you have to chase. You understand that wealth follows spiritual rules, not rules from a book. Forget everything you have been taught about money as paper, as coins, as digits on a screen. That is merely its frozen, temporary form, the corpse of the real thing. Money, in its essence, is alive. It is condensed energy, a current of value, the lifeblood of exchange in the material world, and just like electricity, it flows. It does not sit stagnant by choice. It is pulled toward points of attraction, towards circuits that are open, conductive, and vibrating at a frequency that calls to it. Your chronic lack, your financial droughts are not a sign of God's punishment or the world's cruelty. They are a diagnostic report revealing that you have been standing as an insulator in the flow of this energy. You have believed money is static, a limited resource to be hoarded, fought over, and anxiously guarded. That belief itself is the barrier. The moment you know, truly know in your gut, that money is energy and that you are either a dam blocking it or a riverbed welcoming its flow, your entire relationship with wealth transforms from one of begging to one of divine physics. This is the law that must be settled in your spirit before a single dollar can reliably and consistently flow toward you. Money energy. And energy responds to consciousness, to vibration, to the magnetic field of your beliefs and emotions. Your fear repels it. Your gratitude attracts it. Your sense of unworthiness filters it out. Your conviction of divine right opens the floodgates. Understand this deeply. God is the source of all energy. The universe hums with his creative, generative power. Financial wealth is one expression of that infinite energy, packaged for use in this physical realm. When you see money as evil, as dirty, or as impossibly difficult to obtain, you are labeling God's energy as evil, dirty, and difficult. You are in disagreement with the source, and thus you experience a short circuit. But when you see money for what it is, a neutral, powerful tool of God, capable of building hospitals, funding missions, educating children, and creating beauty, you sanctify it. You align your consciousness with its true nature as a divine resource. This alignment makes you a conductor. Your faith becomes the live wire. Your inspired action becomes the completed circuit. Suddenly, ideas that generate money spark in your mind with ease. Opportunities that carry financial gain seem to find you. Your existing resources begin to multiply in your hands because you are no longer clutching them in the fear of death, but circulating them with the wisdom of life. You stop saying, "I need money," which comes from a consciousness of lack. You start declaring, "I am a conduit for divine energy to flow into creative, productive forms," which comes from a consciousness of source. This shift in knowing is not positive thin. King, it is a cosmological realignment. It is you moving from the perception of being a dry leaf on the ground to knowing you are a branch connected to a sap-filled vine. Your practice begins not with a job application, but with a consciousness adjustment. Sit in quiet and meditate on this truth. The wealth of the universe is infinite energy. I am one with the source. Money is a form of this energy meant to flow to me, through me, and from me for divine purpose. Feel the reality of this. Release the tension in your hands, your jaw, your stomach, all the places you physically clench around lack. Breathe in as if drawing in the very substance of financial energy. Breathe out gratitude for the flow that is already beginning to reorganize itself around your new awareness. Then take one tangible action today that honors this law. Give money away deliberately with joy to break the hoarding consciousness. Invest in a tool or education that increases your capacity to be a channel. Speak to your bills not with dread, but with authority, thanking God for the energy to transform them. As you do these things, you are not just behaving differently, you are vibrating differently. You are tuning your personal frequency to the station of divine flow. And the universe, which is never still, must respond. Money in its various forms will begin to move toward this new point of attraction. You. It may come as payment, as a gift, as a saved expense, as a lucrative idea. Your job is to recognize it, to welcome it without shock, and to keep the channel clear by maintaining your knowing. Money is energy. I am a conductor. The source is infinite. The flow is now mine to direct. This knowing is the master switch. You have just flipped it on. You have been looking at the reflection in the pond and trying to grab it, not understanding it is just an image of the moon in the sky. Money is that reflection. The moon is the energy. And until you stop straining for the watery image and learn to draw from the celestial source, you will remain in a cycle of lack, no matter how hard you paddle. The foundational law that rewires your entire financial destiny is this: money is energy in physical form. Every transaction, every dollar bill, every digital credit is quite literally a packet of human faith, labor, creativity, and desire that has been crystallized into a mutually agreed upon token of exchange. It is not the token you want, it is the energy it represents. Think of it as electricity. You do not want the copper wire, you want the light, the heat, the power the wire carries. Most people spend their lives polishing the copper wire, begging for more wire, while never plugging into the power plant. Your bank account is the wire. Your consciousness, your beliefs, your emotions, your sense of worth and purpose is your connection to the power plant of infinite creative energy. When you know this law, you stop worshipping the wire and you start maintaining your connection. You understand that a broken, frayed connection, a mindset of scarcity, unworthiness, or fear means no light, no matter how much wire is strewn around you, a clear, high-voltage connection. A mindset of worthiness, gratitude, and faith in infinite supply means the energy can flow without limit, manifesting as all the wire you could ever need to accomplish your divine purpose. This is why prayer and affirmation work when done correctly. They are not magical incantations to a stingy God. They are tuning exercises for your internal energy receiver. When you declare, "I am wealthy," you are not lying about your bank balance. You are stating a vibrational fact about your connection to Source. You are aligning your energy with the frequency of abundance. The physical money must then follow, in the same way that sound must follow the striking of a tuning fork. It is a law. Your frustration has come from stating the words while your inner energy field was still broadcasting a contradictory signal of ear and need. Knowing the law means you become the guardian of your inner broadcast. You monitor your emotional state more closely than your bank statement. You understand that a feeling of gratitude for a future blessing is a powerful magnet, while a feeling of anxiety over a bill is a repellent. You begin to see your desires not as distant objects to be grasped, but as proofs that the energy for their manifestation is already present within you, calling them forth. Your desire for a house is the energy of the house itself, seeking to clothe itself in wood and brick through you. Your desire for financial freedom is the energy of that freedom, seeking to express itself through cleared debts and opened opportunities. You are not a beggar, you are a portal. Money flows to the portal that is open, clear, and knows its own nature as part of the flow. Starting now, your primary work is on your point of connection. Sit in silence and feel the energy of life in your hands. That same energy can take the form of money. Declare, "I am a clean, open, and powerful conductor for divine creative energy. I allow it to flow to me in perfect, harmonious forms for my highest good and the good of all." Then act as a conductor. Move your body with the confidence of someone plugged in. Make decisions from a place of inner expansion, not contraction. Pray with faith. You are generating a high-frequency, coherent energy pattern in your personal field. When you work with excellence and integrity, you are grounding that energy into tangible service. Money flows as the perfect bridge between the two. It is the material reward for energy well served in the marketplace of human need. But if your inner field is chaotic, filled with the static of unworthiness, resentment over past losses, or anxiety about the future, then no matter how hard you work, you are trying to build that bridge with shattered bricks. The knowing of the law is the curing of the bricks. It is the deep, quiet understanding that your internal state is the primary economic indicator of your life. When you know money is energy, you stop resenting those who have it and start examining the energy they emit. Often it is a mix of risk-taking, directed motion, value creation, focused energy, and a fundamental expectation of return, magnetic attraction. You realize you can cultivate the same. You begin to see every financial transaction not as a loss or a gain, but as an exchange of energy. You give energy in the form of time, skill, or a product. You receive energy in the form of money, which you can then recirculate for other forms of energy, food, shelter, joy, growth. This perspective makes you a conscious, respectful participant in the flow, not a desperate victim of it. Therefore, your assignment is immediate and internal. Today, conduct an audit not of your finances, but of your financial energy field. Where do you feel contraction? Is it when you check your bank account? That is a point of resistance. Greet it with a breath and the thought, "I am in the river of infinite supply." Where do you feel expansion? Is it when you imagine a goal achieved? That is a point of attraction. Dwell there longer. Your new mantra is, I am a conscious conduit for divine energy to flow into valuable forms. Say it until you feel its truth. Then perform one act of deliberate, joyful circulation. Tip extravagantly for a small service. Buy a quality item you need, feeling the energy exchange as a celebration, not a depletion. Invest in a book or course, seeing it as directing energy toward your own expansion, which will increase your capacity to channel more. As you do this, you are not spending money, you are programming energy. You are telling the universe, I trust the flow, I am part of it, I am grateful for its movement through me. This conscious practice rewires your magnetic field from one of need to one of receptivity, and the law, being impersonal and precise, must respond. Opportunities will begin to feel different, lighter, more obvious. Ideas for creating value will arise more fluidly. People representing resources will be drawn into your path. Money, in its various forms, will begin to flow toward the new, open, and knowing point of attraction that you have become. You knew about money. Now, you know the law of money. This knowing is the open valve. Let the flow begin. And so, the revelation is complete, not as a theory to be debated, but as a new lens through which you will now perceive every transaction, every bill, every desire, and every digit in your bank account. Knowing that money is energy is not an intellectual conclusion, it is an initiation into a state of being. From this moment forward, you are no longer a hunter in a barren field, but a gardener standing at the headwaters of an eternal spring. Your focus shifts irrevocably from the scarcity of the cup to the infinity of the source. This knowing dissolves the anxiety that tightens your chest when you think of finances, because you understand that anxiety itself was the dam you built. And in the knowing, you have chosen to dismantle it, brick by fearful brick. You now relate to money as you relate to your own breath, not as something to be hoarded until you turn blue, but as a vital current meant to flow in and out, sustaining life, empowering movement, and enabling you to sing the song you were born to sing into the world. Your financial life becomes a sacred practice of energy management, where gratitude is your attractor, generosity is your circulator, and faith in the flow is your unwavering foundation. Now, you walk into your world differently. You will pay your bills not with resentment, but with a conscious blessing, acknowledging the energy returning to the flow to circulate again. You will receive payments not with surprise, but with grateful recognition, as a confirmation of the value you have added to the stream. You will look at a price tag and feel not the weight of loss, but the potential of energy transitioning into a new form of experience or tool for your journey. This is the practiced life of one who knows the law. Your daily meditation becomes the maintenance of your inner voltage. Through prayer, through declaration, through the deliberate feeling of abundance already present within you, you guard your emotional state as the most valuable financial instrument you own, for it is the tuning fork that calls specific energies into form. When fear arises, you do not fight it, you gently return to the knowing, I am a conduit. The source is infinite. The energy is seeking its expression through me. This is your mantra of power. It realigns you in an instant. Therefore, I speak a blessing of flow over you. May your hands be open to receive and generous to release, creating a dynamic current that sweeps away all lack. May your mind be clear of lack's old stories, free to conceive new vessels of value for this energy to fill. May your spirit be so attuned to the hum of divine provision that you move with an instinctual grace toward opportunities and ideas that are ripe with potential. You are not waiting for money. You have graduated from that anxious classroom. You are now in the laboratory of manifestation where you understand the raw material. Go forward and build the life of your dreams, not by chasing currency, but by consistently being the person whose energy signature is one of worthiness, creativity, and calm trust. The universe is a mirror, and it must now reflect back to you the energetic truth you have embraced, that you are a child of an abundant God, a vortex of creative force, and a rightful participant in the everlasting flow. The knowing was the key turned in the lock. The door is now open. Step through and let the river of all you require carry you forward into the destiny that has always been yours. The law is set. You are the living proof. The flow is yours. With this knowing now woven into the very fabric of your consciousness, your relationship with the physical world undergoes a silent, monumental shift. You no longer see a world of hard, limited objects, but a dancing field of intelligent energy, constantly arranging and rearranging itself according to the magnetic pull of belief and feeling. The paper bill in your hand is no longer an endpoint, but a momentary pause in a boundless dance, a dance you are now leading. This is your sovereignty. This is your freedom. The law that money is energy is not a secret to be kept, but a reality to be lived, breath by breath. As you move through your day, you will feel the truth of it in your body, a relaxation in your shoulders where there was once tension, an openness in your palms that were once clenched. You will make decisions from a different place. A purchase becomes a conscious exchange, directing energy towards something that supports your growth or joy. A donation becomes a powerful act of faith, proclaiming to the universe, the flow is infinite, and I am a willing channel. Even the act of paying a tax or a bill transforms from an act of depletion to an act of participation in the larger circulatory system of your community, trusting that as you contribute, you keep the energy in motion, and motion attracts more motion. Your work now is the sacred maintenance of your inner state, for that is the control panel for the flow. You are the gardener of your own energy field. When the old weeds of lack thoughts sprout, I can't afford it, there's never enough. You do not panic. You simply recognize them as outdated programs, remnants from before you knew the law. You gently uproot them with the simple, powerful affirmation of your new truth. Energy flows where attention goes. My attention is on abundance, therefore abundance flows. You nourish your field with gratitude for what is already present, for gratitude is the purest frequency of reception. You water it with visions of your fulfilled desires, feeling the reality of them now, because feeling is the language that commands energy to take form. This is not a passive meditation. It is the most active work you can do. It is you, as a conscious creator, using the law with intention. The external world has no choice but to morph, sometimes quickly, sometimes in a divine timing that builds character, to match this cultivated inner landscape of abundant flow. So I release you into this new life, not with a wish, but with a certainty. You are armed with the master key. You understand the physics of your prosperity. Go now and apply this knowing with the gentle relentlessness of a river carving its canyon. Make your plans from the space of already having, not from the anxiety of needing. Let your actions be those of a person who knows the resources are already allocated in the unseen, and you are simply gathering them. Watch with a sense of divine curiosity as people, opportunities, and yes, money begin to move toward you along paths you could not have engineered. They are following the new magnetic signal you are emitting. The drought is over. The season of flow has begun. You knew about money. Now you know money. And in that knowing, you have become its master, a loving steward of the infinite energy of God, shaping it with your faith into a life of purpose, peace, and glorious, overflowing abundance. The law is now your ally. The energy is now your element. The rest of your life is the proof. When you truly understand how money works, you place yourself in the stream of abundance instead of fighting against it. You realize that your past money problems were not because you failed, but because you misunderstood how wealth works. You were going against the spiritual law instead of working with it. You were creating resistance instead of flow and acting out of fear instead of faith. Now you understand, and understanding changes everything. Thank you for listening.